Uh-oh, people. Guess who is here? Guess who has arrived? The champ, Ed Parker, the two-time PS4 tournament champion. He's going up against Stay Hydrated. Buckle up.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Are you listening?
Ricky J. Sports.
What up, what up? Welcome to another round one PS4 Real Fights tournament bout. And before we get started, don't forget to elbow drop that like button, man. It'll really help out the channel and this video. So here we go. Look at this matchup, man. Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit. That was probably one of the most frustrating fights that I've ever seen. Seeing Condit circling away from Diaz, who was trying to hunt him down, and ultimately Condit won by decision, and I believe it was for the interim welterweight strap. So here we go. Parker is the champion, man. He's the champion in the tournaments. He's won the tournaments, and I believe he's still the champion in the ESFL, the Esports League. I don't know if he still has the belt, but he was the champion the last time I tuned in. So he's got the greatest striking in this game, in my opinion. He has the ability to be so patient, so calculated, and he doesn't whiff on his strikes. And you'll notice that for all you guys that just bought the game or need to learn about striking. He does a great job of always hitting his opponent's block or landing, and he doesn't whiff a lot. So let's see what Stay Hydrated could do. He sent me a message when this tournament began, and he's like, damn you, Ricky, why would you put me up against Ed Parker? But there's a lot of people that want to face Ed Parker, man. He's got a target on his back as being the champ, man. Nobody has ever won more than one tournament in my tournaments. And look at this already. Parker's dropped him. Wow. Is it over? It almost looks like that Diaz hasn't broken a sweat. But nice footwork by Stay Hydrated. And as the fight goes on, Hydrated has to gain a little confidence. But he's not really doing the greatest of jobs right now. But he's not going, full throttle, balls to the wall. He's being calculated as well. He's got to be careful, though, because Parker will just pick you apart. That's a good nickname. Pick you apart, Parker. But he'll pick you apart. He doesn't really have that brawling style. Oh my gosh, but he's able to turn it on. And it looks like this fight's done, man. Holy smokes. Ed Parker. I don't think he got a scratch on the old face of Diaz. And what a beautiful start for Ed Parker. Just being just so good. And the one thing, though, with him is that he's always able to sustain that high level of play. I always say that for me, guys, like, I'm not claiming to be one of the best guys, but I have my moments where I can hang with the best fighters. And then I always have a lapse in my game where I'm not playing at a high level, and it costs me. If you see my fights against Ed Parker, Retro Rocky, guys like that, I always do well, and then I falter later on in the match. And these top players are always able to maintain that high level of play. So here we go. Much love both ways. And Parker using Dos Anjos. And Parker, he is really good as a southpaw, and I'm the same way. I only like using guys that are southpaws, and sometimes their switch stances aren't the greatest, and it hurts me when I'm using guys like Cruz or, Jacare. So I try to stick to guys that are naturally southpaws. So that's what Ed Parker does. Stay Hydrated looks like he does have some really nice skills, though. He looks controlled. He's not overthrowing things. He's got to do a good job, though, at blocking the onslaught of Ed Parker. And Parker will hang back and watch you throw a little bit, and then he'll pop in and attack. And that rear uppercut is doing damage. He's just planting and timing that rear uppercut so well. And then, in a way, I love both of these guys. I'm a huge Ed Parker fan, but I'm hoping Stay Hydrated could land something and gain the respect. I know Parker respects him, but as far as like the stand-up game, is Parker going to gain, some respect here, or Stay Hydrated actually going to gain some respect by landing something big? And at this point, unfortunately, we haven't seen anything significant landed on Ed Parker, and I'm hoping Stay Hydrated could do something special here and create some excitement. But it looks like Parker's in control. I love how he just goes down low, up high. Not overthrowing things, not getting too excited. And I'll be honest with you guys, I base my stand-up game on the Ed Parker mentality, man. I really like his ability up on the feet, and I feel like it's the best way to win. You're not really rolling the dice when you're using that Ed Parker style. Down low, up high, keeping combos short, not whiffing, not missing. Oh, man. Stay hydrated. Can't seem to get off the cage. There he goes. He should back up. In that situation, I would have switched stances and backed up and established the center of the cage, but Parker's using good angles and cutting off the cage and keeping him up against it. So here we go. Here we go. A little breather right there. Nice fake by Hydrated. He can't get gun shy though. You know the old saying, the MMA saying of you got to go down with your shield. Do it. And I've been saying this forever. You just go down with no shields and two swords, one sword in each hand, and just start swinging. Oh, looks like this fight could be done, people. It's over. Quick work for the champ. And I know he has a target on his back, but that was a great start for him in this tournament to let everybody know that Ed Parker, as good as he is, he's getting better. And he is going to be looking into getting another fight for round 2, man. Looking to punch his ticket all the way back to the finals to defend his belt, man. So it's going to be crazy. This tournament is just so much fun to commentate, and it's so cool to see you guys in your real fight matchups. And are we going to have an upset, man? Just like what we saw with Prioxis. Is Ed Parker going to be able to go all the way? And stick it here, man. Keep it here on Ricky J Sports, and we'll see how far he goes. But anyway, guys, this is Ricky J, baby, for Ricky J Sports. Have a good day, guys. And don't forget, man, you are awesome.
Alright boys, here we go, where it's a new episode of Games We Love, that's right. And today's edition's going to be a little different. It's going to be about an old game from back in the 80s called Black Belt. An unbelievable game, a game that I don't know if it revolutionized fighting games, but this game used to scare me senseless, and it was a tough game, little ins and outs in the game that were really tough to beat. And today I want to show you guys how to get it done, because when I was a kid, it was so frustrating, and you know, playing this game was really tough, and if the only way that you can proceed and be successful in the game is if you know the ins and outs. And today I'm going to show you a nice little 1986 game. And when I first bought this game, I watched Bloodsport back in the day, and I thought it was the game from Bloodsport. Remember back in the movie when Van Damme and his big old buddy were at the hotel playing that karate game? As you see there, that picture over there, I thought it was that game because they both came out in 86. As you see the dates there. And the game for Black Belt also came out the same year, so I thought it was definitely that game. But it really wasn't. But I wasn't really let down because the game really was entertaining. It was tough though, it was a battle. And as you start off, the game has two different components. It's got like the 2D platform view where you're fighting away and the little dumb guys are exploding like I don't know what. But then there's also where you fight each boss in each level. Now, if you look here, first things first, I used to think the graphics were absolutely outstanding, but now as the time has come, it's different. But each guy that you would face, there's all these little strategies that you need to know in order to beat them. Like say for this little Pink Panther here, in order to beat him, you have to make sure that you're sticking and moving and then you're hitting him in the head. If you don't hit him in the head, he's not going to lose much power. And when to finish him off, you have to make sure that you either punch or kick him in the head. If you go for the body, he's not going to lose power. So basically, you're going to be hitting him with no result and no effectiveness. So see how I'm kicking him in the head there? It can't be. It's got to be a standing punch so you can do the rapid fire like this. Rapid fire. Big time moves there, folks. Sorry for being loud, but I'm hyper. I'm back. I had a couple coffees and I'm doing it. You know, I should go into decaf. But anyway, you see the Legion of Doom there from WWE. They were jumping around and the Legion of Doom left you. Now it's time to fight the Circus Master here. You know, you stole his food that he was supposed to give the elephants and the tigers and the lions, and he's after you. And luckily I have the invincibility mode because he can't take power away from me. But if I didn't have the invincibility mode, I probably would have been dead here because he is actually pretty tough, as you have to break his line of defense, which is his whip, and take him out into in his head there. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And as I'm continuing to jab and move and taking a pounding in the meantime, I eventually do it. Slicing him with the sweep kick is not going to do it. You got to jump and kick him. But he's hard because he's little pitter-patter shots that really get annoying. But as you go on and you fight the main guy in this next level here, he's actually pretty much easy, because as I learned going on, the best thing to do is to slap him in the head there. That's the best offense with that. And then finish him with a kick, and every kick, Riki, who's the guy that you use, his finishing move is to go buck wild on the guy, and that's what he's doing. He's going buck wild crazy like a madman, like a chicken with his head cut off. And I'm going a mile a minute here. But anyway, you take him out and you're off to the next round. The next round, you know, you're off against another big boss, and it's funny, all the little guys in the beginning of each level, they always look like characters from back in the day, as these guys remind me of little Pee Wee Herman in his pajamas. Pee Wee Herman in his pajamas! Yeah, that's right, but their main boss is going to be E Honda's buddy from Street Fighter. You got to watch out, because he's like a bull in a china shop. He comes running at you. You got to move. You got to stick and move. Use your jab. Use your punches. And make sure that if he comes at you, you got to jump back and don't let him sit on you, because it'll be game over. You know how that is. So as he stays stationary, you got to jump on top of him and use your jab. When he starts doing the the big hippopotamus jump, you got to make sure that you dodge it and punch him, and then you go back to the fatality finishing move. This is made it where they got fatalities from back in the day, as you're slapping him out crazy, taking him off the screen, saying, you know what, E Honda, go back to Mandarin, and I'm going to continue. I also want to show you how hard some of these 2D fighters are from the platform, as this guy from the Shinobi days, he was hard and he killed me, and also these big barbarians with the butcher knives there, as they're killing you. As their main level ends and you fight them, the main guy, it's Freddy Krueger time, and this guy is by far the toughest guy in the game, because the key to success with being Freddy here is that you got to make sure that you're all about the counterattack. Once he punches you, you got to punch him back. If you don't do that, you're dead meat like I am, you know, and like my dinner tonight. But anyway, as I'm fast forwarding here, once he hits me with a punch, you hit him with another one, he loses his mask. You're saying I don't want that because it's poison. Some Asian lettering is up there. I don't know what that means. It probably says like, congratulations, you did it. Now you're off to fight Arsenio Hall and all his buddies. So you're in New York. You're fighting Arsenio Hall as he's coming here with all of his buddies. It does look like him. It was a good show, by the way. And they're jumping around like mad. Did the same strategy with the first level. Take the invincibility and keep on going. So, you know, so you can just get to the end of the line. Ghostbusters are coming now, boys. Buckle up. Here we go. Ghostbusters are coming here. You got to make sure that you kill them, because they're hitting you with the spicy meatballs there coming out of the chute, that you got to make sure that you dodge them and hit them. But again, it's the pitter-patter shots that get to you, and if you're not moving, they're going to keep on shooting at you and kill you, because you know what? There's no favors in the programmers in this game. They don't want you to beat their game, and that's what you're doing right now. Arsenio's back, guys. Arsenio's back. You got to continue kicking him out of the way and saying your show wasn't great anymore. It's time for David Letterman. See you later. And you're doing that, and you're just moving along here as I'm just jumping around and just moving along. This guy here, or it's actually a girl, she-male, he-male, you want to call it, it's a human, Rita. She is tough because even though she only has two moves. She has the Liu Kang flying kick, as you've seen there, and then she has right there the Karate Chop Mania. The Karate Chop Mania is kind of crazy because you don't know where it's coming from. The jump kick always comes from corners, but as you see here, if you look at the Rita's power, I'm like hitting her with all sorts of different combinations. The jump kick, the straight jab, some body shots, and her power doesn't go down. And that's the one thing that was frustrating as a kid, and even the kids that were playing it back in the day, and even now, if they even do play this game. I like it, guys. But anyway, you got to make sure that you're trying to figure out how to get the power away from her. And what you can do is you got to switch up your combinations. If you hit her down with a kick and punch, you have to make sure that you're doing the same thing. I mean, you're mixing it up. Pardon my language. So if you're doing a kick, you got to do a punch low. If you're doing a punch low, then you end up got to do a punch high. You got to switch it up, or else she's not going to lose power, as you see right here. And to finish her off, when she jumps and does the Liu Kang, you got to make sure you catch her in the air and you punch her while she's in flight. While she's in flight, you lay one on her and she will go down. Because if you see here, nothing's phasing her. She has a shield out of hell or whatnot. But anyway, you see here it's a battle. She jumps up, boom. Punch her in the face, or punch her in the little fat stomach as she keeps the butterball turkey in there. and you are off to the next round. For me, she is definitely the last guy, I think, because the last challenge, because this last guy here, he's fairly easy. As you see the fireworks there, it's thunder, it's lightning. I know it hasn't been a great summer. And he comes, and the funny thing is here, he looks like that he's half asleep here, but you know, the programmers are probably saying, you know, we're going to put this like he's half asleep because it's a dream if you even beat this game because it's so damn tough. Pardon my damn there, I shouldn't have said that. But at the end, it's funny how he raised his hands thinking that he won, but eventually you win, which is kind of bizarre. But it was tough. Luckily for Save As You Go with my emulator, I can save as I go, so I had more chances to get this far in the game. But as the game ends, there's one more thing to do, boys. That's to save the girl. You know, that's how it was in the 80s. If it's a fighting game, you got to save the girl. He takes her. He says, we're going to Mandarin, or we're going for dim sum, or whatever you want to do, but I want to make you happy. And then at the end here, I like how they say, you finally defeated the boss and temporarily brought peace to the world. Temporarily leaves the door open for a sequel, which never happened, which was pretty sad. Now, with the experience you've gained and Kyoko's love to sustain you, continue to battle onward to an even more rousing victory. And that's the game right there, folks. Under 10 minutes, because YouTube wouldn't let me make a longer video than 10. This game, I think, for me, it left a mark on it because that's what I used to play back in the day, and it was tough and it was rough. And if you want to try playing it, guys, go for it. I think it was a great little start to the fighting games, and it was a fun little segment for the Master System. Anyway, boys, I've been speaking a mile a minute. I love you guys. Thanks a lot, and it's good to be back. Peace.